Have you ever wondered why, in an age of comfort and abundance, so many people feel tired, empty, and quietly defeated? It's not because we lack talent, it's because we lack mental strength. We scroll, we compare, we envy, and then wonder why we feel lost. We chase comfort, but grow weaker. We avoid pain, but suffer daily. The hard truth is this: comfort is slowly killing us. The ancient Romans understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's not just philosophy, it's a weapon for surviving chaos without breaking. If you're ready to reclaim your power, your peace, and your purpose, drop a 1 in the comments and begin your journey to becoming unshakable. No 1. Embrace discomfort like a friend. We've been raised to believe that comfort is the goal, that a good life means avoiding pain, minimizing effort, and seeking ease at every turn. But the Stoics taught the opposite. They saw discomfort not as punishment, but as a powerful teacher. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire amidst war, betrayal, and disease, understood this truth deeply. He didn't run from pain, he let it forge him. His words still echo across centuries. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle carries within it the seed of transformation. Hardship reveals the hidden strength of the mind, just as fire reveals the purity of metal. The Stoics believed that controlled discomfort, the kind you choose intentionally, prepares you for the chaos you cannot choose. They trained their minds through voluntary struggle so that when fate struck, they did not collapse. Seneca, one of Rome's greatest philosophers, practiced sleeping on the floor, eating plain food, and wearing rough clothes. Not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he wanted to test his dependence on comfort. If he could thrive in simplicity, then luxury could never enslave him. This is the core of Stoic resilience. The less you need, the harder you are to break. In the modern world, where convenience surrounds us, every small discomfort feels unbearable. A cold shower, a missed meal, a difficult conversation. But these are the perfect opportunities to practice strength. Each moment of unease is a mirror reflecting who we truly are beneath the mask of convenience. When we choose to face discomfort instead of fleeing it, something changes inside us. We begin to trust ourselves. Fear loses its grip. Discomfort becomes a form of spiritual training. It teaches patience, endurance, and acceptance. It sharpens the will and strengthens the mind. While most people spend their lives seeking comfort and finding only weakness, the Stoic seeks challenge and finds freedom. The path to peace is not through avoidance, it's through resistance. To grow is to suffer willingly, with awareness and purpose. Because in the end, it's not pain that destroys us, but the fear of pain. And once that fear is gone, what remains is power, calm, steady, and unshakable. No 2. Stop being owned by your emotions. Most people are ruled not by reason, but by emotion. One rude comment ruins their mood. One disappointment drains their energy. One burst of anger destroys their peace. The Stoics saw this as the worst kind of slavery. Not physical, but psychological. Epictetus, who was once a slave himself, said, "Anyone capable of angering you becomes your master. They can anger you only when you permit it. When you react blindly, you surrender control. You hand your peace to strangers, your happiness to chance." The Stoic path is different. It doesn't deny emotion. It teaches mastery through awareness. Feel anger, but do not become it. Feel fear, but move anyway. Feel sadness, but do not drown. Emotion is information, not instruction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, it is not the thing itself, but your judgment of it." Meaning, reality doesn't hurt you, your interpretation does. Between stimulus and response lies your freedom, that brief pause where you choose who you'll be. The child throws a tantrum. The Stoic breathes, observes, and acts with intention. This control is not coldness, it's power. When emotions no longer dictate your behavior, you become stable in an unstable world. Others may shout, panic, or hate. You remain still. That calm presence is strength. Emotional mastery is the true armor of the Stoic, invisible, silent, and unshakable. No 3. Stop expecting fairness. One of the fastest ways to suffer is to believe life should be fair. You work hard and someone lazy gets rewarded. You love deeply and they walk away. You do the right thing and still lose. The Stoics knew this truth well. Fairness is not a law of nature, it's a human illusion. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth, yet he faced betrayal, corruption, and injustice daily. Still, he never complained. Instead, he wrote, "You can commit injustice by doing nothing." He understood that life doesn't owe us fairness. It demands strength. When you expect the world to be just, you hand over your peace to disappointment. The Stoic accepts the world as it is, not as it should be. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. To live with strength is to act rightly, even when the outcome isn't fair. Seneca said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." Fairness is a seductive idea that keeps many trapped in resentment. But suffering less doesn't come from demanding justice. It comes from mastering your response when justice fails. You can't control who betrays you, but you can control your dignity. You can't control what's taken from you, but you can control how you rebuild. Life will always favor some and test others. But when you stop expecting fairness, you gain something greater: freedom. You stop waiting for the world to treat you right and start treating yourself right, regardless of what the world does. The Stoic doesn't demand that life be easy. He trains to be strong. No 4. Focus on what you can control. The Stoics believe that human power lies within a narrow circle. What is in our control? Beyond that circle, everything is chaos. Opinions, luck, other people's actions, the weather, the future. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This is not passivity, it's clarity. When you stop trying to control what you can't, your mind becomes free. Most people waste energy fighting the uncontrollable. They try to change others, predict outcomes, or rewrite the past. The result is anxiety and frustration. The Stoic instead draws a clear boundary. My thoughts, choices, and actions are mine. Everything else belongs to fate. That awareness gives immense power. You no longer drown in uncertainty, you act with focus. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The Stoic sailor does not curse the wind, he adjusts the sails. The warrior does not fear the storm, he sharpens his discipline. Control begins where acceptance ends. Each time you feel anger, fear, or stress, ask, "Is this within my control?" If yes, act. If no, release it. The difference between chaos and calm lies in that single decision. When you master this discipline, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You become unshakable, not because life is easy, but because you are steady no matter what life brings. No 5. Practice voluntary hardship to build unbreakable will. In a world addicted to comfort, discipline becomes a rare and powerful advantage. The Stoics did not wait for hardship to arrive. They invited it. They believed that comfort weakens the mind, while chosen struggle strengthens it. Seneca once wrote, "Set aside a few days when you will be content with the simplest food, the roughest clothing, and ask yourself, is this what I feared?" Through this practice, he learned to stop fearing loss because he had already faced it willingly. Voluntary hardship is not self-punishment, it is self-training. The Stoics understood that luxury dulls the spirit, so they practiced moments of intentional difficulty, fasting, cold, fatigue, silence, to build resilience before life demanded it. When misfortune came, they did not break because they had already rehearsed adversity in the arena of the mind. In our modern lives, every inconvenience feels unbearable: hunger, rejection, boredom. But the Stoic sees each as a weight to lift, a muscle to train. The mind, like the body, grows only under resistance. By choosing discomfort in small doses, we become immune to chaos. A cold shower strengthens resolve. Skipping indulgence strengthens restraint. Rising early strengthens purpose. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, wars, and betrayal, yet remained calm and clear. He expected hardship, so it never shocked him. When pain is anticipated, it loses its power. The Stoic doesn't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" but rather, "How can I grow from this?" That mindset turns every difficulty into an ally. True freedom is not found in comfort, it is forged in challenge. Each voluntary hardship is a quiet victory of will over weakness, and in time, that will become unbreakable. No. 6. Detach from outcomes. Fall in love with the process. Modern life teaches us to obsess over results. The promotion, the recognition, the victory, the applause. But the Stoics taught a different way. Detach from the outcome and focus on the process, because results are never guaranteed, yet your effort is always within your control. Epictetus wrote, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." When your happiness depends on results, you become fragile. If success comes, you feel alive. If it doesn't, you collapse. But when you shift focus to the act itself, to the training, the writing, the building, the discipline, you regain your power. The Stoic works not for applause, but for mastery. He finds meaning in doing the right thing well, not in how others respond to it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason you use today." The Stoic knows the future cannot be controlled, only the present effort can. The process is sacred because it's the only thing that truly belongs to you. When you detach from outcomes, your mind becomes calm. You stop chasing validation. You stop fearing failure. Ironically, that's when you perform at your best, because your actions are pure, focused, and free from desperation. Whether you win or lose, you win in character. The Stoic way is simple but hard. Show up fully, work with integrity, release the result. When you learn to love the process itself, every day becomes victory, and no failure can touch your peace. No. 7. Remember death. Live with urgency and purpose. Most people live as if they have endless tomorrows. They delay their dreams, avoid hard truths, and waste years on trivial things. The Stoics saw this illusion clearly. To them, death was not something to fear, it was something to remember. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." That awareness was not dark, it was liberating. This Stoic practice was called memento mori, remember you will die. It wasn't meant to depress, but to awaken. The moment you accept the finiteness of life, your priorities sharpen. You stop wasting time scrolling, arguing, or postponing what matters. You realize that every conversation could be your last, every sunrise a gift, every action a chance to live with meaning. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." We are not victims of time, we are careless with it. The Stoic doesn't ask for more years, he asks to use the ones he has fully. When death becomes your teacher, fear loses its power. Failure seems smaller, pride fades, gratitude grows. To remember death is to live awake. You no longer chase distractions, you chase purpose. You speak truth, forgive faster, love deeply, and act boldly, because you know time is a currency that never replenishes. The Stoic looks death in the eye and says, "You will not find me unprepared." When you live with that awareness, every day becomes sacred. You stop surviving and start living, with clarity, courage, and urgency. No. 8. Be a warrior for virtue, not for approval. Most people live as if applause were oxygen. They chase validation, likes, and recognition, shaping themselves to please the crowd. But the Stoics taught that virtue, not popularity, is the highest form of power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." A Stoic's worth isn't measured by others' praise, but by their own integrity when no one is watching. Virtue means living by principles, not emotions. It's keeping your word when it costs you. Speaking truth even when silence is safer. Choosing what's right over what's easy. That's what builds a soul that cannot be bought. The Stoic understands that true respect is not demanded, it's earned quietly through consistent honor. Seneca once said, "I will govern my life and thoughts as if the world could see the one and read the other." This is the Stoic code, to act with honor even in solitude, to live transparently without pretense. In a world obsessed with image, the Stoic stands apart. Real, calm, grounded. Virtue is not about perfection. It's about alignment, the harmony between what you believe and what you do. Every decision becomes a test of character. Every temptation, a chance to rise above weakness. When you no longer need validation, you become dangerous in the best way. Free, disciplined, unshakable. The Stoic warrior doesn't fight for fame, he fights for truth. He can lose wealth, status, and followers, yet remain whole, because virtue, once forged, cannot be taken, only lived. Summary: the Stoic path, from fragility to inner power. The 8 Stoic laws are not ideas, they are a blueprint for inner mastery. They teach that true strength doesn't come from wealth, comfort, or control, but from the unshakable self forged through discipline and awareness. Each law is a stage of transformation, from pain to peace, from reaction to reason, from chaos to clarity. Together, they build a foundation where no storm can shake you, no loss can define you, and no opinion can enslave you. The Stoic does not escape life, he transcends it. He stands calm in chaos, steady in suffering, free in every moment. And that is the highest form of victory, to master the only kingdom you truly rule, your own mind.